Commodity TV, live here from the Mines and Money in London 2022. Day number 3, first interview, and we have now here a special guest out of the precious metals and base metals sector, I would call it, Keith Henderson, the President and CEO of Latin Metals. Keith, how are you?
I'm really good, thank you.
Yeah. Welcome to London.
How's
the show so far?
It's been quite good. There's a lot of companies here, a lot of people coming through, so we've been pretty busy over the last couple of days.
Good. So you're very active as a precious and base metals prospect generator in South America.
Yeah.
Could you just give us an insight in your company, please?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a relatively new prospect generator. It was formed about 3 years ago, and many people have not actually heard about it yet because over the first couple of years, you're busy with your projects, acquiring and doing the work, and you have to get them to the point where you can start to get partners in to fund the work. And so that takes 2.5 years. So over that period of time, really, there's no point to be marketing. And we've begun marketing really over the last 6 months and trying to get our name out there. Now that we're getting to the point where it's going to be interesting for shareholders and interesting for potential investors.
So what are the most important projects, and do you already have partners for those projects?
Yeah, we do. So we have portfolio of projects in Argentina and Peru. The Argentinian projects are a little bit more advanced, and so we've been able to secure partners for most of those so far, and those partners are actively working on the projects. We've got Libero Copper working on a copper gold porphyry discovery that we made a few years ago. We've got Barrick and Anglo Gold also working on projects in Argentina as well. So we expect to see significant expenditure over the next couple of years from those companies. And we expect all 3 of those companies to be drilling in Q1 or Q2 next year.
So did you also drill before?
So this was the predecessor company did some drilling. And then 3 years ago, we decided to completely revamp the company to rebrand it as a prospect generator. So yes, we have drilling that we did a long time ago, but in our current guise, we intend to do exactly 0 drilling. We're completely focused on preserving the structure of the company. We're focused on just doing exactly the prospect generator model, and that does not include drilling. We do surface exploration. It's relatively cheap. It gets us to the point of having drill targets and allows us to be able to get partners. And after that, it's really just over to the partners. They cover all of the exploration costs going forward, including the very expensive business of drilling. And if they're very lucky and if they find a really big deposit, we've got a retained interest in that without really having spent any money on it, which is fabulous.
Okay. So partners are drilling. What are your plans for the next year? So you want to acquire more projects or good projects, or you say I more into get new partners for the other projects, or what are the plans?
A little bit of both. So as you find partners for projects, you have to have new projects coming in at the beginning of the process. So we're very focused always on finding new projects, and we've been busy doing that for a couple of years in Peru. So those Peruvian projects are just getting to the point now where they're ready for partners. We've got 2 that we hope to partner before the end of this year. Okay. We're also looking at new acquisitions and new ideas, both in Peru and Argentina, and things that we can acquire and take forward and ultimately find partners for those as well. So we're always kind of cycling through that process.
Do you still focus on Peru and Argentina, or also on other countries?
No, I think we're okay with Peru and Argentina for now. Argentina is one of the top destinations for mining investment in South America at the moment. I can't say that I fully understand why, but what I see is that all of the major companies are coming there and spending money. BHP made an investment of $100 million earlier this year into Filo del Sol. And while that kind of environment is there, that's a great place for us to continue to try and acquire more projects. Peru, on the other hand, maybe is not such a hot destination right now, but it's fundamentally a mining jurisdiction. It's number 2 copper producer in the world. The economy is based on mining, and we know that will always be a good place to be. And so we're continuing to acquire projects there as well.
What is cash in the bank, and will there be payments from the partners, or cash payments from the partners next year?
Yeah, we get partner payments every year, annually. They're variable in size, but we get payments, and that's part of our business model. So, we're spending about $1.5 million every year. We're running really, really lean, and that 1.5 covers 3 offices: Vancouver, Lima, and Argentina. It covers all of our exploration, it covers all of our acquisitions and all of our people. So it's a super cheap company, and that really helps us protect against dilution. In contrast to that, at the moment, under contract, we have investments for up to $35 million US,
Oh, wow.
which is really fantastic. And then we continue to acquire new partners. The neat thing about the prospect generator model is that there's no limit to how many projects you can have. So you look at a typical mining company or to Vancouver or any of the other major cities that fund this industry, and companies tend to have one or two projects, which is fine, but your chances of success are limited to those one or two projects, and if they fail, well, you're going to finance the company again and dilute it some more. There is no limit to how many projects we can have. All of the significant expenditure is incurred by other people. As many projects as we can acquire and as many partners as we can find to fund them, we can keep on growing and keep on going. At the moment, we've got 15 projects and 1 royalty. In the future, that's just going to get bigger and bigger. And we really want to get to the point eventually where if we can have, we think $25 million of investment coming in every year on average, non-dilutive cash, that's about 75,000 meters of drilling.
Wow.
And as we all know, it's drilling that actually finds deposits. And so if we can become a company that's got an interest in that kind of drilling, that really should lead to some success for us.
Sounds good. So how does the shareholder structure look like, and what's management holding?
Shareholder structure is 50% with management and board.
Ooh, that's much.
Yeah, and we all paid actual real money for it as well. So it's not one of these companies where management and board got an awful lot of cheap stock at the start. Okay. For example, my position costs a little over $500,000 at an average price of 16 cents, and I've got just under 5% of the company, and 50% in total for management and board. And we continue to maintain that position. So every time we raise money, we put that money down and we go and raise the other half from somewhere else. So you asked about our treasury. We've got about $1.5 million in the bank, which is about a year of money for us. So it's a really good runway. We just raised money actually, and unfortunately at 10 cents. That was not part of our plan. It was part of our plan to raise money, but not in this market, I guess. Yeah. So unfortunately we did a 10-cent financing, which was less than perfect, but it's done, and we got great shareholders in, and we're happy with the outcome. So we just move forward and look forward to the rest of the year.
Any institutional shareholders?
No, not at all. It's prospect generators tend to attract more of a retail interest. We've got our management and board position for 50%. We've got some retail brokers in Vancouver and their clients who together own a significant chunk of the company as well, and about 16 million shares that are actually sort of in the public float.
So what will be the most important catalyst for the next 12 months?
Probably the drilling starting on 3 projects. Like, that's a pretty significant step for us as a prospect generator to have all that news coming in, and all of our partners give us data on a quarterly basis. So for each of those projects, we're guaranteed to have like kind of 4 batches of news releases, and it leads to a lot of news. We've got a fairly detailed plan for the year that's going to give us about 30 to 35 news releases. So it's a really significant and steady news flow through the year. Those drill projects should be good. One in particular is Esperanza, which I mentioned was a discovery previously. So we drilled it in 2018 in the predecessor company. At that time, the intersection was 387 meters from surface, 0.55% copper and 0.27 grams gold. And at the time, believe it or not, in Q1 2018, that was the 3rd best copper intersection in the entire world. Wow. So it's a significant discovery. And that one's most exciting because really it's less about exploration and it's more about stepping out and seeing how big it's going to be. And we would anticipate that we'll get some pretty interesting results out of that program that Libero are going to complete.
Sounds great to me, Keith.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for this insight in your terrific company.
Thank you very much.
All the best for 2023, and then let's meet together here in London next year.
Super. Sounds good.
Thank you very much. So that was Commodity TV with Keith Henderson, the President and CEO of Lead & Metals, live here from the Mines and Money in London. I would say do your own research, check out this very interesting company, and bye-bye from London.